Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the one, the only, the Sunday Night Hang right here on the Ben Coombs YouTube channel. Well, you kind of know. You're already clicking on it. You're watching. You knew this info. If you're new, please subscribe. New or returning, thumbs ups. Sure. Well, you know, I made it almost. Tonight, I'm hanging with the one, the only, Tinkerbell.
In
This
the
is
house.
gonna be a fun one, folks. We were late. Why? Because we're just having a blast hanging out. Why is the band going on late? Because we're having a chat. Relax. We'll get just for that. We'll go 3 minutes longer. We just shift. There we go. We still do our set. Doesn't matter when we go on. We still play our set. The sound man's going, dude, it's 3 a.m. Yeah, but we still haven't finished our set. So. Gigs. God love wow, we already got 30 people in the chat.
Nice.
But let's see. We've got Thomas Santiago.
There we go.
Thomas Santiago. Eddie Van Haskell. He says, go Habs. Yeah, he's on full-on Habs mode.
Terry, I got one for you, brother.
Nice. Terry's 536 G's. JP Page 2. Symmetry says we got to be done by 10. All right, we'll see what we can do. Jeff K. Doug Santian. Doug. Sup, Doug? We'll get there. I saw another Doug in here, too. There's Mike. Dang it. All you guys with your long last names with multiple syllables, all with capitalization and vowels and everything.
You got to keep it simple for us.
Yep, perfect. Papa Blue, Tim Thomas, Dan of New Jersey, Terry Himes, Mickey Settlemeyer, Absolute Mayhem, John DeShane, taking a breath, Billy Baloney, Mike Jones, Other Left, Paul McNary, Cushman NYC. Nice, we got a whole crowd here. There's Down and Back with Corn Doug. See, I knew there was more than one Doug in here. Jack Collins is here. Awesome. Music Therapy Laz. He's lurking while working. Zach Song. Sean Zimmerman. Mahogany. Nick KB Music. 43 Celsius in Vancouver. Hot as balls. Yep. That's over 100. That's over 100.
Yeah. It's muggy where we're at. We were talking, Ben and I. Yep. It's muggy everywhere, I think.
Yep. I'm feeling it right now. Yep, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I got a fan back there trying to keep me cool.
We got Brad Guitar Miller, Mojo67. Asks if you have any magic dust. What? No.
Maybe. This is going to turn into a Steel Panther kind of video, I can tell right off the bat.
I believe one of the last times I may have partook in something of that, I was doing it off of a guitar pick in a bathroom at an AM after party. And I had the Eagles' Life in the Fast Lane playing in my head all night. Wonder why. Good times.
Oh, yeah.
Guitar 45. Get your powder supplies for ball sweat? Sure, why not?
Oh, man.
All right. Yeah, great. I love it. I get, of course, go live. I get a reply on a Facebook Marketplace
Steel
ad.
Panther.
Which is like half a dozen pedals, and the guy says, which do you suggest? Well, clearly it'll be the most expensive one.
Well,
if you're dumb enough to ask, I'm dumb enough to answer. Hey, Chad. Michael Easter.
This is so easy not having to type everything in. Now I can just
Isn't
yell
it?
it out.
It's like the ultimate voice for text. Yeah, you just sit here and just read off names. Perfect. See, we already killed off 5 minutes of the show. Boom! Just like that. We're doing the doorman portion, right? Or the receiving line, like at a wedding reception. Yeah, come on, yeah. How you doing? How you doing?
Come on, everybody. Room up front. Come on, everybody.
Yeah, I'm kissing hands and shaking babies. What's up, Adam D? Great to see Adam D in here. So yes, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, well, keep the concerns to yourself. Nah, bring them on in too. Why not? Fruitcake Tony's here. Okay. Yeah, you can do the @ ampersand Aha. See, it's early in the show. I can still say words like ampersand and then our name, and it'll show up in the chat for us. Or you can put a bunch of question marks at the front. That'll work sometimes, but not always. You can do a super chat. That stands out on occasion. Or you could just spam us. There's Dan Sullivan, the gambler himself. Great to see Dan in here. Awesome. We got several Dans, several Dougs, a couple Terrys.
Eric, I see a
You're
lot.
Like Noah,
of
they're all coming in by twos. All right, there goes Doug. See you, Doug. Have to run to a meeting to see if the announcement we talked about can be made soon. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to drop Doug's announcement that possibly could be seen on an ESPN channel in the not-so-distant future.
Whoa.
I can't say that because I'm in Canada. What do I know? Critical question. Ooh, a critical question. Ooh, I haven't had one of them in a while. Who the fuck do you keep a mohawk in check during COVID? You mean how?
How would you keep it in check?
He's the who. We know he's the who. Clearly, he's the who.
That's the who. How? That's good. Good barbers. I got good barbers in my area.
Nice.
I call her Austin.
Hey, Blackjack Guitar. So yeah, we could talk guitars, I suppose. So, what's your go-to guitar these days? I know you've done some shopping in the not too distant past, so
I have. It looks like there's a crazy amount of guitars in me. I think only three of them are probably in the same tune of E. And I love playing with the albums, the records, the radio. And so that's kind of maybe why there's so many.
Sure.
I think when I'm just jamming around, that Ibanez S series is so nice because it's like just doesn't even feel like it's there. You're just playing it and it's so easy, thin.
Wafer
I don't know that it's my favorite playing guitar. I don't like that single coil in the middle. Not so much because of the pickup, because it's like I feel like I hit it with the pick. Like it's right where I want to be. I'm almost
if you never use it, just drop it right down out of the way.
I can't. It's like dead on the wood or something.
Oh, it's direct mount.
Yeah, it must be. I can't lower it anymore, or it's just where it's going to be forever. But I love that guitar.
John DeShane says 440 sucks balls. So he's saying his preference for tuning as well as his age, just by referring to it as 440 tuning.
I don't disagree.
I'm old enough to remember my first tuner was 440. It wasn't, and then you had to switch it for each string.
Yes, yeah. The what was that? A Korg or what was the one that you showed recently? I can't even remember.
That was
Seiko.
Seiko,
right?
Yeah, Seiko.
Yeah, I used to. Dad used to have one of those. So yeah, you're right. You had to switch in for each note and stuff like that.
Yep. And the funny thing is, I remember my dad telling me that everybody in the band had one of those tuners, but at a gig, everybody would use one person's tuner because of the calibration of those tuners being,
Yep.
Yeah.
So I do like that one. I just recently got the Schecter Evil Twin too, not too long ago. And I really like this guitar.
That's snazzy.
And one of the things I really like it, and I didn't even know it would make a big difference, is it has stainless steel frets on it.
And how are you finding them?
Smooth as glass. Like nothing about tone. I'm not a tone guy. I'm just getting into pedals too. So you guys are
teaching me gain on it. You're not hearing it anyways. So
no, and the back's really beautiful. Check this out. Like it's a different color kind of wood.
Nice.
You can really see into it and stuff. I really like this. But boy, does it feel good. It's the most expensive guitar I've bought yet. And
that's an arch top too, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. I don't know how. Yeah, you can kind of see it there like that. It has that little arch top. And I'm not even sure how I feel.
That's almost like halfway between an arch top and a German curve, French curve, German curve.
Yeah. If it was let me think about that. If it was a ESP, It would be like the MH. That's what they call it. It has like that curved top. And then the M is that flat deck on the top. I might like that flat deck more, but I think I own more arch tops right now. I just feel like it just sets your hand like there's more of a spot. But when I'm playing, I can't tell. I can't even tell what I'm holding in the shape, you know, except for the V.
Right.
That's different, man.
Yeah, that's definitely different. Good luck with that, Dan. Based off my personal research into that subject and phenomenon, only good things.
Nice. My knees hurt is asking, what model is that? The one I was just holding was the Schecter Evil Twin.
Yes.
And it has the Fishman Fluence bottom. It has the Sustainiac as the neck. If you guys ever get a chance to play with the Sustainiac, you have to. They are a blast.
They are fun. They are fun. Yeah, Blackheart on the back of that guitar. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Terry, you got to see it in person.
Number one. But, my knees hurt uses a pitch pipe. Wow, you're old school.
I have one. My knees hurt. I've been watching you, my knees hurt. You've been painting, and I guess the skateboard ones are a little older and stuff. So you keep up what you're doing, brother. I'm watching you.
John's asking, does it have a Floyd on that?
Yeah, almost. As Ben and I discussed, most of my guitars have the wiggle stick.
He's got wiggle sticks.
I like the wiggle stick. But I do also very, very much have to have a couple guitars with a fixed bridge so I can change tuning quick if I want to try something out. Otherwise, it's insane.
Oh, dear Lord, there's Pops. Quentin James in the house.
Quentin, what's up, brother? I have a pitch pipe. I'm tone deaf. I love Floyd's too.
I definitely love them. I have a love-hate relationship. Hey, there's Mr. Pedals himself, Lawrence of the Pedals.
Lawrence, you are a tough act to follow, brother. I had to follow Lawrence, and then I had to follow Dave. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be the sorbet between fucking dishes here.
Yeah, last week quickly turned into just hot takes with Dave, right? No filter on that guy.
And I appreciate it because I didn't want one. I love that guy.
Oh, that sucks. My knees hurt. I hope you're mending.
Yeah.
The Mayhem says, for those that may not know, Tink, can you give us a quick guitar bio?
Of myself?
I guess. Sure. Yes. So how long you been playing for?
Okay. There's a break in between, but I started as a kid. Yeah, I started as a kid, and my two absolute biggest influences and heroes was one that was Eddie, right? Because we were growing up in that era, and I remember being with my dad, hearing Diver Down on the radio. We turned the car into a store and bought that album, and then I just bought all the other albums and everything once I got a hold of that. I was a kid back then. Dad played a classical guitar, and I picked it up, and the typical Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Sure.
And then he taught me like the bass lines and stuff. That's how it all started, right up until where I got to like high school, maybe like try to do a school show or a band. Got to college, everybody has a guitar. And there's a drum kit in the corner. I'm like, someone play the drums. No one would, like, look how easy it is and stuff. So I drummed for like 20 years after that. The guitar, I had one guitar, one amp. It sat in a closet for a million years. Behind me is a little buddy of mine that passed away about 2 years ago. He was my dog, and he was my best friend forever, and he was starting to wind down. And so we were hanging out, and I was trying to do something. I started plucking a guitar, and it just all started over again, except in spades. With YouTube and the internet, you can't believe how easy it is to pick up guitar compared to when we were young. We read the shittiest fucking tab books you can imagine. They were like, you'd be like Guitar 5, Guitar 6. Like there's only 2 guitarists in Metallica. Like, where are all these coming from? Like, you couldn't figure it out. Now it's just so easy. That's where it took off again. So that was like 2 or 3 years ago. And it was just like really fun. I found my niche. I wish I could have done this when I was 20, you could go back and do it this well, but here we are now, and you can only blaze forward, life's a drive through. It only goes forward.
That's true. That is true.
But that's kind of me.
So who was the other guitar player? You mentioned there was two, one being
my
Eddie.
Father. I'm sorry. I made my father, and more than anything, like one of the biggest, the biggest influence in my life, bar none. No one is in my life that knows me as well as him, hangs out with me, and on the same wavelength, everything. So it was him.
I get that. I can relate. Yeah.
I think exactly, because as I watch you and Dave, I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's us. But I'm the guy that jams with the radio, the albums and stuff. And now that everything's loosening up, maybe I'll try to find some other people to play with again. But that's kind of me, like I'm a guitar tech. No problem tearing guitars apart, putting them back together, tuning them up, the relief and everything. I don't love the electronics of it, but
who does?
In a nutshell, that's me. That's kind of who I am.
Sure.
And I love guitars.
Terry started back on guitar in 2010. Nice. So same idea. Yeah, there was, I don't know, 10, 15 year period where I'd pick up a guitar once a year. Only if I was at somebody's place that had a guitar. Like all my stuff sat in cases for 20 years probably. So yeah.
Certainly, it's hard to just skip over 40 years or whatever we just did to get to this point. But yeah, there were times when I was like half living off the street at times and stuff. So like I learned how to play guitar with a guitar, a cable, and maybe an amp. Like half the time I'm plugging into other people's amps. I learned how to play a guitar laying there in bed. The archetypical bedroom player is who I was. And if you do give it up, if you guys have it, if the guitar's sitting down, that's okay. That doesn't mean the journey's over. Like everybody goes through it. Everybody sets it down for a little bit. I mean, you almost have to sometimes.
I often joke about that. Like the gigs that we would play around here with original bands, 5, 6 bands, half the bands on the bill are teenagers and the other half are in their 40s because everyone is off raising kids in between or getting their lives together in one way, shape, or form. And then by the time you're 40 again, you can start looking at life. You're like, okay, what do I want to do now? For phase 2. And that's when a lot of guys are like, screw it, I'm starting a dad band. And well, you know what? Some of those dad bands were flipping good because they're out there like, screw it. We grew up on this stuff. We're going to play original music like that or in the same vein, or they're going to play really cool cover tunes. So it's not your dad's classic rock necessarily, which I love as well. But, we were talking off air, buddy's band. It was just all Pantera, Metallica, some Megadeth, some Slayer. And then you play at all these gent shows, and all these gent kids are like, oh, that stuff, that really leapt the mosh pit. Yeah, it's called a groove. You might learn about it sometime if you're not playing sound effects. Stop muting. There's notes. Just saying.
Yeah, Ben and I almost didn't come on air. We had started this conversation and lost track of time. Just where music is and how we feel about it. That's a big part of it. You got to find your strengths and play them.
You learn the proper way, exactly like John. And Other Left took a break for 18 years. Billy Baloney says that's my retirement plan, starting a dad rock band.
Nice. Yeah. There's not a lot of money in music. If you want to gain traction and play music and man, either you're really successful and everybody knows you or pretty much you found something.
Yeah, to cover costs on a local level, playing original, you got to play the music. You're going to get your cut of the door, which is going to be $30 to $50 for the band, not per person. So you're going to have to sell CDs, T-shirts, stickers.
Oh, you got to hustle.
Women's underwear with the band logo on it, huge seller.
Oh, that sounds good.
Because every boyfriend wants to buy them for their girlfriend, and every girlfriend doesn't want them. So, yeah. But they always sell out immediately.
Nice.
Yep. Tank tops with spaghetti straps. Girls love them. Band logo right across the boobs.
But as Ben and I were talking earlier at one time, my kind of strategy is I have a decent job. If I could just keep it together for 10 more years and get into some kind of retirement, you know, then you could start your music career and just like, what's it fucking matter if you fail? You know, like you get up, you do the gig, you have it.
Sure. And then that's like, it's the same as like if you're playing pickup hockey with your buddies, you don't mind investing some money into it without expecting to get any money back. It's the same as, you know, renting a field to play softball or whatever else in that respect, in which we did see a lot of, you know, like the older bands, because they'd be handed, you know, the $40, but they say, no, give it to the kids. Because they're playing original music. They're 22 years old. They're trying to, you know, go across Ontario at least in a van. And they're just like, really? And they're like, yeah, we don't need this. Like, we have jobs. You know, we have families. Like, we don't need $10 a head, you know.
Right.
But then they sell more T-shirts than anybody else anyways because they have a huge following locally.
Yeah. Even if you were making money and doing well, I certainly would think you had to have been having fun doing it. I think that's the key. Even if like you're just a hobbyist, which is pretty much mostly what I am. Like,
well, you talk about the hang, like nothing better than the hang when there's 5 bands hanging together, right? And you've played a few gigs with each other. You know, like, well, we played with those guys at that gig. We played with these guys at this gig, and you know, and especially depending on what kind of music you're playing. You do generally end up playing with the same guys. You know, if it's a monthly show, you're going to play with them 3 or 4 times a year. And the rest of the time you're hanging out at those shows anyways, because it's a monthly show.
Yeah. Hey, there's Janice Lala. I don't know how to say your last name. Janice, you posted a video today. I watched it. You are awesome. You keep doing what you're doing, girl.
Exactly. I think I've known Janice as long as I've been putting out videos.
That's awesome. I know Scott Brockway. Didn't see him in the chat yet, but I know he watched your video too. So, fun is key. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. I agree. Well, that was like, you know, playing covers in Canada. You have to play a Tragically Hip song. You have to. Not a hip band. So we said, okay, fine. You know, because every band has to play a hip song. So we played a deep cut. And people were like, what's this? We're like, Springtime in Vienna. So like, what's that? It's like, yeah, it's track 8 from an album in 1994. You know, type thing. Oh, it was apparently Nautical Disaster. There we go. Yeah.
Nice.
Although, yeah, and having fun, I always think back, we were coming back from a set break, and the singer said, she all of a sudden said, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, we're literally got the guitars on. We've already hit a couple notes loud. As soon as you hit one note loud, you know, people are aware. So
yeah, that's the start.
We broke into what I thought was a jam in D minor, which is pertinent. And I was like, okay, you know, Richie starts doing a thing on a loop, and then he starts playing a lot of that. Bass player jumps in, drummer jumps in, I jump in. We all kind of find parts. And then we're waiting. Singer's in the lineup for the bathroom. And we're just, okay, you know, Richie does a little lead break. We're just doing our thing. Very ambient. And all of a sudden we start rocking hard on the D as she starts coming up to the stage. And literally, as she grabs the mic, we go right into another brick in the wall. And it was just like, you know, goosebumps while you're like, this is why I play music.
Yes.
I don't care if anybody out there, you know, figured out what was happening there, but I was like, that's why I play music. Because I was like, that's more than the sum of its parts. Yeah. And that was just because we were gigging constantly that summer. And we were to the point where we weren't even practicing anymore. You know, we don't need rehearsals because we're playing twice a week.
Yeah, unless you were adding new material, I guess.
Exactly. Hey, BC Rich 581. Oh, yeah, we wouldn't even bother we try new material right then and there, like on stage. I'm like, what are the chords? Richie would start playing it. I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, you've heard the song a million times because it's a cover tune. Singer looks up the songs on her phone, and we're like, let's do it. And you do, like, you know, 80% of the way there, first time through. And the crowd's just like, and you guys have never played that before. We're like, nope. Hey, still Paris. BC Rich 581. Nice. I think I saw Martin Lemaire in here. Metalhead Hippie. He's live tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be fun. Community hang. Showing off it. He's the MTV He's MTV these days.
Nice.
He plays all the cool videos.
I have caught some of his shows.
I'm usually lurking, eating a second dinner on Sunday nights.
It's late for me, so yeah, I'm usually.
Well, for some reason, I always feel the need to eat another complete meal after doing the Sunday night hang. I don't know why.
I got an idea.
Thank you, Terry. Terry just posted a link to your channel in the chat.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Check it out. We got 60 people watching. Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a nice crowd because I think Pete Thorne's going live opposite us tonight. Yeah.
Really? Oh, cool. Yeah, did he broadcast today?
No, he was away for a few days. Happy birthday, Pete. His birthday was on Thursday, and then he was going away and then coming back today, but he wasn't sure what time he'd be back at. So he's like, as he was signing off last week, he goes, yeah, I think I'll go live around 4 or 5 p.m. I'm like, really? Because so I was texting with him on Thursday. So he's like, yeah, no, I'm like, I won't be in your chat. And he's like, why? I'm like, just curious. I'm like, I'm live at that time. He goes, well, I'm not expecting a big crowd because you're going to be live anyways. I'm like, really, Pete? Really?
You think?
Yeah. Well, Ben, Pete. Oh, well, Tink's on. Definitely. Huh? And that's why we now have 61 watching. No.
Michael says he subbed to me. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoy that. I slowed up on some of the material coming off because I had to go back to real work for a while.
Yeah.
So, but I will try to kick some. I actually have a buddy's guitar back there that we ordered as a B stock to save some money. I talked him into starting guitar, so he was just a beginner. And we got a really cool guitar. What do they call it? Omen Extreme, Schecter Omen Extreme.
Oh,
normally like $450, but $350 because it was a B stock. It had a small cosmetic blemish. But I don't know what they do with B stock. I think they get to a point and say, okay, it's a B stock, just stop working on it or something. So it needed a full setup and horrible, one of the worst fret ends I've ever seen in my life. But now I got it so nice, I practically want to buy it off again.
Apparently, Pete's waiting till we're done tonight. He's going live opposite Hippie. Sorry, Hippie. Thanks, Mayhem. Just puts it in the chat there.
Quentin's got a jet. Thanks for stopping in, Quentin.
Yep. Be locked and loaded.
Cool.
Quentin James, folks.
Maybe I'll try to make a vid on that. I got all this other stupid stuff that kind of come into my life because we're always trying different things as guitarists, like what it is. I've been screwing around with picks lately. I don't know if anybody's into that. They have the
I got into that after I scored a couple hundred picks at a NAMM show.
Yeah, they have. I use, what do they call this? The Tortex. I think everybody kind of gets.
I love the Tortex.
They have a sharp style. A sharp style that's really pointy, and then they have the what do they call this one? Flow. I finally ended up on Flow, and it's a pointy but not quite as aggressive.
Who uses the flows? I have a Flow. Aljon Go. His signature picks are flows.
Oh, I love them.
Here's my business card. I'm like, that's a pick, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're Aljon Go. Michael Easter was asking where Tink's located. In Pennsylvania.
Central Pennsylvania. I live in Central Pennsylvania. If you're familiar with Penn State University, that's where I live. And I'm usually with a contractor doing a lot of work on Penn State. So I get into a lot of really weird stuff. Labs. I worked at a what do you call it? Like a nuclear research facility for a while where you could see the stuff glowing down under the water and stuff. I see some pretty weird stuff in my time.
Yeah. I can imagine, like we were talking off air when I worked for the military.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to see that. When I'm working in the Air Warfare Center. Like that's the think tank, like Pentagon type thing. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I shouldn't see that map. I'm just saying. Hey, John, ZD351. He says, hello, Ben. Hi, Ben. Just a quick hello. I can never tune in anymore. You're always on when I'm working. Yes, I know.
I know that. I know that feeling. Tinkerbell equals Homer Simpson.
Hippie's a Philly boy. Nice. Very cool.
Philly, we're not too far away, brother. I didn't realize we were that close.
I think I cut down pretty much through central Pennsylvania when I drive down to North Carolina.
Oh, right on.
You know, all I know is I drive like an hour east down the 401 highway, and then I turn right, and I drive that way for 16 hours, and then I turn left for an hour. That's because it's literally the same interstate that is at the Canadian border for the Thousand Islands, whatever, I can't remember, whatever interstate that is. That's the one that goes all the way to North Carolina. So it's just, I just stay on that.
Nice.
BC Rich is from northeastern Pennsylvania. Nice. And Hippies, yes, in Alaska now.
Oh, right on. Chernobyl fish. I'm not sure what he means.
Homer Simpson reference?
Oh, I get it now.
It could be 81. I don't know. Billy Baloney's in Cleveland. That's about 4 hours from me.
Right on. Oh, looks like another subscriber. Stealth Parrot. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Nice. I hope you enjoy.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm subscribed for whatever that's worth. I'm just saying. I enjoy the content.
Wow. So special. I got a t-shirt of yours.
I saw that. Yes, check it out. Available.
Everybody should get this right now. They fit great. Actually, it's a really nice t-shirt. It has like
they are nice.
Kind of like a nice collar on it or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I picked up a couple of those for white just to wear at NAMM shows so I could stand out. Because I figure everybody wears black t-shirts, I'll wear white.
Yeah.
It's like me and Brian Adams.
Black. I think all my clothes are black.
There's a meme I forgot to share it the other day. It came on Facebook memories. Yeah, it's like when you spend 15 minutes going through your black t-shirts to find the right black t-shirt to go out in. Yep.
I could so relate because I even worse is like, which Slayer t-shirt should I wear? You know, like double skulls.
It's like, do I want to represent, a company, a guitar brand? John DeShane says, send me a PM. I need one of those shirts. There's a link down below to Spreadshirt. Spreadshirt has that logo available, as well as others. Or yes. Eric put a link in the chat, perhaps. There's all kinds of stuff there, including mason jars with my logo on them. Just
nice. I knew I wanted a t-shirt. I went attacking that first. I think Bent Tom might be lurking out there somewhere.
He very well could. He's usually laid up on a couch on Sunday eves.
Right on.
All right, Hippie's lurking.
Nice.
Which reminds me, I should probably do my tax info for that website so I can get paid for the merch. Nice. Not that it's much, but I probably should set that up at some point. It used to be there, and then they wanted. There's Bent Tom.
Bent Tom.
Hey, TK, the Tone King. He's lurking as well. Oh, there's a sign for Bent Tom.
And a heart. I put a heart on this one for you, brother.
Well, the stickers are available at Vibraprint online.com. That link down below. That's where you can buy the stickers, and then you buy your own glass saxophone and put it on the Yeah, good to see the King in here.
Simtree, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. There he is.
What did I see?
No, Ben Tom. I wanted to yell out to you, and I was talking to Ben earlier about it. I love the fact that you had taken time at times to reach out to people and talk about their mental well-being and stuff like that. If you were ever thinking that you were reaching out and you just wanted to get one person, you did. That was me, bro. I've had ups and downs, and this community, everyone that's out there right now is just awesome. I love this community, and we all go through ups and downs and stuff like that. Bent Tom's awesome, man.
His name, I think I've seen you in the chat before. Ken Singleton. He says, this is so just like hanging out back in the day. Thanks for letting me hang.
Absolutely.
Well, Ken, grab your favorite cold snack and pull up a conversation, because that I said to my bass player Larry once, I said, you know what, when I grow up I want to be you, and he said you can't do both. So I've decided not to.
I got a good one. What do you think was some of the best advice that helped you advance yourself as a guitarist?
Don't give a flying fidoo what others think.
I like that a lot.
Really. Because ironically enough, as much as I can noodle around a bit of lead work here and there and everywhere, I couldn't play lead at all 2 months before I started a YouTube channel. Ironically enough, I just happened to pick it up. And so like people say, oh, you're a great lead player. I'm like, no, I played 30 years and not playing lead. You know, it's only in the last couple of years I've learned to play lead. So in respect to that, it was just do my thing. Other than if it was blatant, like, wow, your sense of timing is terrible, buy a metronome, something like that, I would pay attention to. But, ooh, I don't like your tone. I don't like your face.
Right.
I can change my tone.
The bands that succeed are the ones that fought through all of that. They're the ones that are slightly different, that's outside the box, that everybody's like, no, don't do that. But then they're the next big thing, and then everybody's copying them. So, you got to play to your own beat of your own drummer, so to speak. I think the best thing that I ever did for myself is I started keeping a notebook that said, this is how much time I practiced today, and this is what I practiced. And when I went to the next day, it's like you kind of want to write something in it real bad. So you force yourself into doing some things.
All right. Ben Tom says he can't play lead. He lies. Janice says she can't play lead. I cannot confirm or deny that because I haven't seen Janice play lead. Lawrence is saying hi to Tom. That's fine. Hey, here's Denny's guitar covers. Hello. Don't put the guitar away. It must be easy to pick up and practice. I like that advice. Yeah, leave it out on a stand. Don't be a case queen.
No, I don't put stuff in cases.
Doug's hello and welcome, Doug. No, I saw Doug earlier. That's right. You got the name I can't pronounce. Right. Santaniello, possibly. I own 30 plus guitars and can't play a lick. I always say I've been playing for now, 32 years, and one of these days I'll get it right.
But who does? We all challenge ourselves in a certain way. Way back when I was younger, I used to do powerlifting, and I loved it. But it's such a solo sport, right? You go underneath, you push the weights, it always feels the same and stuff like that. But you're challenging yourself. The novice kid walks into the gym and he sees you and he thinks you're something crazy spectacular, but you're not. You're just still that guy challenging yourself, pushing you. Eddie Van Halen, although that guy was an angel with a guitar on this earth, blessing us with what he gave us, he was probably thinking the same thing. Hey, this is fun and this is challenging. And because he was a prodigy of a sort, all that stuff came out. But you have to do that for you too. You got to cut yourself a little break. The music today is so technically challenging, it's silly. I'm not even sure I like the sound of it anymore.
I don't like math rock. When I think math rock, Rush, not just all this. Yeah. Oh, and we do have an update from the garden, apparently. Apparently, this is a YouTube-safe photo to show.
Ooh.
And that's like a big Rubbermaid container. and then there's that one.
That's good times right there.
And then there's that one. That's already like a small Christmas tree. So that's June. All right, sure. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's modern jazz with high gain. I don't like that too much. I can appreciate it, but I don't. Can you, as my dad said, it's funny because like with Eddie, one of the things like he wasn't a big fan is a good solo you should be able to whistle, he say. Or a good tune. You should be able to whistle a good tune. And it's been a long time since they brought out music where you could whistle that music.
Yeah, and it's literally they got 10 strings on their guitar and they're palming it and playing it like that. All awesome.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. but I don't think it's something I'm after trying to attack.
Not a cup of tea.
I'm literally like 3-chord songs that I hit good. I get a high off of it. I'm down. Like that's what I want. I want to make people dance and bounce. Like Ben and I were talking, like finding that right rhythm in a song to hit the audience dead on, you know?
I'm just reading the comments. Wow, I remember how against the law that used to be, and why the hell did I plant tomatoes?
There's a Bent Tom had one earlier. I think I caught. I'm from Central PA, not Pittsburgh area, State College area where Penn State's at.
And Tom's lived all over PA.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, because he's outside Philly now, and I know he went to school in Pittsburgh for a period of time. All right, see you, Michael Easter. Have a good night. PEI. The smallest province in Canada. Getting smaller as the oceans rise. Just saying. Well, it is an island, you know. One would assume it gets smaller.
In York. That's not too far away. No, okay. That's cool.
Here we go. I saw somebody's working on their pentatonic scale. Nice. Nice. That's all you need. You know, like I play both kinds, the major and minor pentatonic.
I don't even know if I know any scales for sure.
1 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 3 1 3. Blues scale, minor pentatonic, or major depending on what key you're playing in. Right, Lawrence? Lawrence is like, shut up. I have an academy where I teach this. You do not, clearly. You're right.
There's a lot of people from PA in here.
I have a big follow. I'm big in PA, you know. I'm big in PA. Well, it's a big state.
It is. It is.
There's a lot of geography involved. So
I think there's a lot of guitar players come from PA, and man, a lot of hockey players come from PA and football for some reason.
And history of hockey, if you want to hit on that, like half the American Hockey League was in Pennsylvania forever and a day. Like it's been like, forget New York and Boston and in Chicago and Detroit. As a state, Pennsylvania kills them all because they carried the minor league system.
It was big for we played a lot of ball in the street for sure, but we played a lot of street hockey and stuff. It was just in our blood.
I get it.
Another PA guy.
Similar upbringings, like considering a third of the NHL's from the Golden Horseshoe, which is basically an hour east of Toronto around Lake Ontario to Buffalo. That's a third of the NHL traditionally. Yeah. So when you look at that and then you get right into Erie, Pennsylvania, into boom to Pittsburgh. And well, Pittsburgh has it, then Philadelphia's got to get involved,
Yep.
See, I know stuff. And then everybody in between gets involved. Let's see here. PA is very Canadian-ish state, similar attitudes and friendly people. Yep.
I think so. I think almost most of the stuff I do online is Canadian. I should just move up there.
Sure. Come on up.
Sure.
We got lots of room. Think about it. Yeah, we got more land than America and 1/10 the population. We can spread out. There's lots of room. Just cut down a bunch of trees, build a cabin.
I don't want to get in this story too much, but when I was 19, I was thrown out of Canada.
Nice.
They had enough of me. It only took a day.
What's up, Hip? Metalworks? Yeah, that's right. The Beard's been trying to get up here like for a year and a half. He's got a cottage in Canada.
You're most proud of. What song am I working on now?
Bring your jacket. No, I don't think you need a jacket. We were talking about that off air. It was hotter here today than it was where he is. Because we get the lake effect from Lake Ontario. So it's just also bam, South Carolina weather. Exactly, Terry. Free healthcare and legal weed. What else do you?
Absolute Mayhem asks, what song or solo did I learn to play that I'm most proud of? I think it was the first one I cracked when I come back, which would have been, it was either South of Heaven or Seasons in the Abyss. That was when Max was still alive. It was coming back from even when I was playing before, I was just noodling on the guitar, and we had like 6 songs that we just made up. And that was the first time I nailed something down really hard. Played it with the radio, couldn't believe my ears and stuff like that. I still get a thrill out of playing those songs. I started playing some Alice in Chains recently, which has sort of like, I can't really hit Jerry's solos, but he has those like kind of solos in a song that are just sort of simpler, and then you're back in. I really like those. I like his style a lot. Jerry Cantrell can really write a riff, man. There's some good songs.
I may be there, John. He's asking if I was moderating Pete's chat tonight. I may be there.
Right on.
I'll try to be there. At least for most of it. And hello to Philly G Guitar Man. The Patriot Saint of North Hollywood, St. Bob, now lives in PA now. Nice. Hip Metalwork says, yeah, it's 40 Celsius in Sydney, BC. Yeah, BC hit record temperatures today. There's a place in BC that hit 45 degrees Celsius, which is a record high in Canada. In Canada, all of Canada. That was a record.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not right. That's not right.
No. The second part of his question was, what am I working on now? I got into a band called DZ Death Rays out of Australia or something. Okay. I don't know that they're really well known. I caught them because there's a show called Letterkenny. Have you guys ever heard of it?
Okay. That's Canadian?
Yeah. See, everything I watch is Canadian. During one of the like typical bar fight scenes that they would have, there was this song in the background. I was like, what is that song? And it turned out to be this band. And then I got into them a bit. And I learned like 3 or 4 songs from them. Man, I'll learn anything, man. One day Pete Thorne was talking about the Go-Go's. So I ran and learned a couple Go-Go's songs.
God, love the Go-Go's.
The Donnas, I got into them recently. I started learning some of their songs. I'll learn anything, man. If it just sounds good and it makes you, if you're listening to a song and you start dancing to it, that's a good sign that you should probably check into it a little bit. Someone else asked if that's an orange amp.
All the BC people are trying to get him in again here. Symmetry's like, it was 44 in my yard. I'm 30 minutes east of Vancouver. Oh, the one, the only... Boner Jams.
Boner Jams.
It's a bird. No, it's a plane. No, it's Boner Jams. Happy Sunday to everyone.
Happy Sunday to you, brother.
You have a sit in Linton. That's what. Midway in the Fraser Valley. That's why. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I could celebrate doing it. Why not? You know, it's only been 3 in the last hour. Sure.
I saw another one fly by is asking about this amp. Yeah, it's an orange amp. It's a 35 RT. What is it? 35 Crush RT. Yeah.
It's a tube or a solid state?
Solid state, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I've only ever owned solid state amps.
Well, you're a metal guy. You're a metal guy. You're allowed. You get a pass. Because as my buddy Blaster from the band With Blood Drenched Hands, yes, that was the name of the band, With Blood Drenched Hands, part of the SOHC, which is the Southern Ontario hardcore scene, which I'm a member. Yeah, I know. I'm a hippie, but I'm a member. I think they grandfathered me in because I used to rock. I don't know. So Blaster said tube or solid state amps are like a punch in the face. Tube amps are just like if I put my palm in your face and mash it around. You know what? Yep.
But to be fair, I think this is in total the 3rd amp I've ever owned in my life. So the first one was the one I got with my very first guitar, which is a Squire that's back there. You can just barely see it. And it came with one of those like 15-watt Squire amps. And I used to live in Hollywood, California for a while. And I would sneak into the MIT Institute. I got to be friends with a couple of the students, and they would take me in on Fridays to see what was going on. That was an eye-opener to see what those guys do. that satchel from Steel Panther was probably around just after I probably had to get out of there.
Crap.
Then a million years ago, someone got me a crate amp, like a 2x12, but it doesn't work quite right. It's like you have it on and it kind of shuts off after a while. I'll have to see what's wrong with it. And then I ended up with
Wait, did you say it was a crate amp?
A crate, yeah.
Well, that's why.
2x12. That's why it's screwed up.
Fucking crate.
Yeah. They kind of are what they are. I'll have to dig into it one day when I'm brave and see what's
John
going
DeShane,
on.
thank you very much, sir. He says, both of you, both of us, what is your go-to amp? Don't say solid state. Well, he's going to say solid state.
Well,
unless you got a tube amp there.
Well, when you get into talking about what do you want to do, I think we're talking about this, right? We got gas, right? Because this is exactly what I have right now. And right now,
I think you should have a tube amp. Just the same way I have solid state gear. I can A/B it.
I have my cabinet picked out. I want a 1960B.
Yep.
4x12. I think that's settled. I don't think I have to make that choice. But now I've been looking at heads.
Right.
And I cannot decide. The front runner right now seems to be Hughes and Kettner Tubemeister 40. Ooh. If anybody has any opinions
good choice.
I'd love to see it.
I think that's an excellent choice, actually.
One of the things I love about it was
it's still underpriced. Hughes and Kettner, they're underpriced still, in my opinion. They haven't goosed up the and good rep. I've known about them since the 90s. Yeah, great sounding amps. Tubemeister, that's a nice one. I was thinking of Friedman JJ Jr., especially since you're on an Alice in Chains kick.
That was, I stared at that, right? So that was another one.
They're a little pricey.
But they're in the ballpark. Like if you said, I'm going to spend $1,000 to $1,500, you're in there, right? Like
yeah.
The Hughes and Kettner had a great back end of the panel. So it had tons of outputs. Had that red box out so you could simulate stuff right into board. You could turn it so it was, no speakers plugged in and you could just basically headphone it. I thought some of those were great.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just comparing it to like the Marshall amps, which are also very exciting and something I'm looking into. Mm-hmm. They have nice output jacks in the back with multiple speaker stuff. I like that too.
And mine would be my Blues Deluxe. Like I know that amp inside and out. It's a great pedal platform, and I'm all about pedal platform. Plus, I get to say pedal platform, which is awesome. Doug, thank you very much for the super chat, good sir. He says, played golf, shot 69. Damn, that's good. Got home, told my wife. She said, great, glad you got your thrill. There ain't shit happening here. Well, we had a quiet day, I hope. But congrats, sir. That'll get you. That's good. That's real good. I can't do that. I broke 80 once. Nope. Did I break 90? Yep. Shot an 86.
You should be in tournaments, man. That's pretty
no
good.
No kidding. Hello, Christopher. Tactical six string was asking if is Pete going to stream tonight. Yes, at 10 p.m. Eastern. Hello, James Severin. I was going to say there is one good crate amp, but I think there were two. I haven't tried it.
Yeah. Terry suggests there's all solid state Hughes and Kettner also. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's basically the Tubemeister solid state version. What the hell are they called? Steve from Boston has one.
Right on. I was avoiding it because
I think it's a something Meister as well.
Yeah. I wanted to try to get into tubes. That was the only reason why I was backburnering that one. Ben Tom was on Craigslist. Speaking of that, locally, someone has
hello to brother Aaron. He comes in with the Black Spirit. So there we are.
Black Spirit. That was it. That's what it was.
Sean Pierce Johnson's rocking one of those. Uses it in his church gig, believe it or not. He doesn't call it the Black Spirit, though. Like, literally, he covered up the name. Just.
I guess. Right?
Yeah.
I guess it's better than dragging one of those, like, who makes the Satan, Randall or whoever it is. Engel,
Ooh.
one of them.
Hello to Robot Master Switch and Michael Krause. Let's see here. Where was the question? Ben Tom, right. Do you own more guitars or amps? I found out today I own more amps. Never knew. Well, let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm even going to count the broken ones. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 amps. I have more than 11 guitars.
I have 2 amps, so that was an easy question. And one's working. So Randall Satan. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for.
The Randall Satan. Nice.
That's the one he needs to bring into the church.
Yeah.
And then
your phone's on point. Well, I am using the power of Satan. No. But I'm keeping on the clean channel.
There is someone who was talking about Craigslist. I kind of just recently started going back on that just to see what was going on. Someone has an Eric Johnson guitar for sale up here. I do not need another guitar. And I'm like, And if I was ever to get a Fender guitar.
That's a nice one.
I think that's the one I would get. That's almost a custom rig, the way he has that spec'd out.
Yeah, depending on which model it is. I think most of them have a fairly thick neck.
It's a soft V neck or something, isn't it?
Oh, it's got the soft. Oh, if it's got the soft V neck, then I'm just going to be jealous in all kinds of shades because that's my guilty pleasure is the soft V neck.
It's the soft V neck, the quarter sawn, the vintage tuners on it. It's
basically
really
Yeah.
And he's not asking that bad of a price for it with the case. I've been like trying to really quit looking at it.
I'm just why Ben Tom says my buddy locally has the Eric Johnson Virginia Strat. I was like, yeah,
nice.
For sale? And is it the ad you're looking at? Type thing.
Oh, I wonder. Well, it is right in town here. I know I could drive to go get it. So
that helps. That's our problem. Anytime there's a deal, like I was like, oh, like say it's $20 less, on a pedal. So I was like, oh, that's a deal. That's $20 off. But for me to drive to get it, I'm going to burn at least $20 in fuel. So it's, come on, local people. Either local people need to lower the prices or people further away need to jack the prices up so I'm not so tempted.
That for sure came up looking for a 4x12 cabinet on deal because almost everybody says local pickup only,
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's why they're so cheap. It's like you're like, wow, that's really cheap. And, of course, local pickup only because it's just not worth it.
And I'm not driving to Las Vegas to get it.
God, no. That's why I don't understand why anybody buys a new 412 cab. Like, why? You can buy a used one for a quarter of the price.
For sure, if I go for the slant face.
Yeah,
I could just get, and I'm getting broken down pretty quick on that.
The beat does command, a nice premium on the used market. Knows. Thank you, Metalhead Hippie. Buy yourself a bong rip, a beer, or a pack of picks. Peace. Here's my friend. I will put that towards the cold snack budget, definitely, because I'm down on the bottom shelf of the cold snack now, so I'm gonna have to buy another 30-pack soon. Oh, nice. Yes, by the way, I want to say the Mighty Albus Band gigged on Friday night. And it says, God bless flight cabs, wheels are king. I get it, dude. I get it. We're not getting any younger.
Nope. It's a one-way.
It is. That's why I decided next band I'm in, I am not the guy with a PA. Even though I own a PA, I'll sell it to the band before I lug it to. I'll lug it once, and that's to sell it to the band, and then they can deal with it. I don't want to be the guitar player, singer / sound guy because I'd have the mixer there on stage with me. Wear your wireless pack so you can walk out in front to hear yourself. Nice. That gig was phenomenal. Still on a high from it. Awesome. I'm so happy for you, man. Somebody made it back. Charleston by Ben made it back. Nice. Jason, thank you very much. For Ben and Tank, any doom metal bands that you're into?
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm into doom metal because I like, I guess, stoner metal, like Caius and Fu Manchu and stuff like that, but I don't think that's doom metal per se. I think they're like Fu Manchu, but angrier.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, whereas Fu Manchu's singing about skateboards and vans and stuff, you know, like, yeah, hippies into doom. Okay. Robots into doom.
Yeah.
I don't know what doom is exactly.
But I got a little lost myself. Like things started getting labeled as certain things, and I kind of lost it. And then they started
sludgy, faster doom, and I think Fu Manchu falls into. They get sludgy. You got to have a fuzz. I know that you got to have a fuzz. It's perfectly okay to play on the neck pickup. That's fine. Big amps, a lot of power. Tubes. Need tubes for that one. And somebody said they saw Fu Manchu live, and my niece heard. So
yeah.
Live was a great show. The drummer of that band teaches JJ's son drums. JJ's House of Jams.
Nice. I think a lot of the bands I always like that are heavy go back a bit. Like I get into that. Maybe I'm too old.
Robot says you have to obsess over fuzz.
For the big four, you know, you got Slayer, Metallica, Anthrax, and whatever the other one was that I missed. Yeah. Pantera for sure was a big influence.
Yeah, that's where I tipped out. Basically Pantera. And I never got into Slayer for whatever reason. They were the one I didn't get into. I like Exodus a bit. But
yeah, I love Exodus.
That was my biggest problem with that because they had a revolving door of musicians, so the consistency wasn't there. Right. Anthrax definitely. Metallica
love
definitely.
Anthrax. Early Metallica. I like wore tapes out like in high school.
I'm good through Cliff. That's it.
I would right up into the Black Album for me, and then I faded away from that.
I bought Injustice for All, and I went, all right, everyone's allowed a bad album. They're in mourning, blah, blah. You know, then the Black Album, and I just went.
The Black Album got poppy or rocky.
The first time I heard it, it was 45-minute cock tease. Because traditionally, Metallica would have those long, drawn-out intros, and then at some point, Lars doubles it up, and then they start giving her, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, maybe in this song, Lars is going to all of a sudden double it up. But it never happened. And then the album was over. I went, wait, that was it? And my buddy bought it the day it came out. And he's like, yeah, they're sold out. You can't get a copy. I'm like, I don't care. I won't be getting a copy anytime. Eventually, I got a copy at a secondhand store. But
yeah,
I didn't care. That was years later, too. I did, yeah. I know. You can unsub now. I get it. But, that's the way I am. Master of Puppets was that. That was an awesome album.
I can understand. Meshuggah became a big influence, but I'm not going to say that I can. That's mathematically impossible for me to play that music. But
I agree.
Boy, I love it.
Lars is a tool. Yeah. You know what? Speaking of the hang, could not hang with Lars. At some point, I'd punch him in the mouth. That's the problem. And I'm not a violent person, but I know it. I'd have to pop him at some point, Tank. Like, to the point where if we're hanging out, you'd be like, come on, Ben, let's go outside. Because I know you're going to need to cool off. You need a breather. And I'm like, you're right. I do. Because I like to pop them. And then we go outside and I, partake and just mellow out. And then I go back in. And about 8 minutes later, I'm like, nope. Nope.
He is who he is.
He is who he is. Exactly. He's just, nope.
Tons of smaller bands were big influences. I loved Helmet. And were you guys ever familiar with them?
Yep.
They came through town, and I just sort of hung out after the show for a while, and Paige Hamilton sat on the edge of the stage and talked to us for a while. That was really cool. That's a big deal. Be cool if you're going to be in a band. Like, number one, don't be an ass.
Yeah. And especially if it's your first time headlining the tour, type thing, or especially the headliners. Like, you can do as a headliner, you can do the hey, and just keep walking by, but it looks like you made the attempt. But you may, even if you tell your own security to make sure to push you along, so you don't have to deal with the fans. But just don't be a douche. Don't be a dick.
Master Swiss mentioned Betty's album. That's a great album. I like Born Annoying too. That was a really good album from them.
That would probably happen, Ben Tom. He's like, just punch Lars when you first meet him. Oh, hey, I'm Lars. And then, nice to meet you. And then shake his hand after I punch him in the nose.
He's probably used to it. So it'll be
probably
fun.
Not the first time it's happened. Yep.
Nah, I doubt it.
Yeah, and I saw, yes, Aaron knows me well. Ben's always been a B-side kind of guy. Not many hits he'd call his favorite. Nope. No, I'm not a big fan of hits. Just the way I am. I think just they get played out so quickly. Like, there's very few, other than, I think like bands whose hits I still like, other than Van Halen, and that's about, they're the only ones where I like their hits still.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's a Van Halen song if I hear it again, Open a Vein. I don't think I've hit that with any, but a lot of other bands I can definitely say that.
I can listen to Van Halen anytime. Almost any album too. The Hagar stuff. It's such a different, there's such different bands. I know everybody grows up, but man, David Lee Roth was like, let's go party. Let's go to the girls. Let's have fun. Let's dance with the devil, like all that. And then it was sort of about love and being together and being with one. I wasn't there yet. I'm still not. So
I hear Tactical Six String says I thoroughly enjoy Justice. That's fine. That's fine. It's art. We all can't like the same thing. Thank God we don't all like the same thing. Otherwise, everybody would be playing the same guitar through the same amp, playing the same 3 chords. And that's right, hippie. Just don't be a dick. Boom.
Yeah. Don't be an ass. Work your strengths. Make other people feel comfortable. Like, you don't want to be nervous on stage, for one thing. But you should have this like glow about you that makes other people feel confident and sexy and having a good time, and they think that they've seen something exciting and stuff like that. That's the entertainer. That's what you want to see.
Billy Baloney's heard Van Halen's Pretty Woman one too many times. I can see that.
Yeah, I get that.
Hippie, Gojira, the band, not so much. Sure. P0 still waiting for that Polka and Klensburg revival. Okay, sure. I'm waiting too. I want some polka metal. I don't know.
It's close. They're at a pretty good tempo already.
Dovidas could do it. I'm sure he could do it. I'm sure he's done it. Who are we kidding? I'm sure he's done it.
A couple people talking about Gojira. I don't know. I'm alone too much. I know anything to bounce off. But I do.
I know of them, and I bet you I wouldn't know them if I saw their logo, because their logo is probably indecipherable. They sound like one of those bands. Like metal bands when they use a font that you're like, what? What does that say?
Yes. I think you'd recognize it. You would be able to read it. They've had some interesting, they have one that's like whales or something. It's like a block wood stamp art. They have some neat stuff.
Know any good accordions for under $200? I do not.
Keep checking. Keep looking.
I'm not quite plugged into the accordion market, unfortunately. Hey, Mark Dillon. Oh, that's right. This Wednesday, the Cascade Reverb was... Lawrence, I had somebody reach out to me asking me a bunch of questions on that. And was asking, is it stereo or mono? I told him it's mono, because I'm pretty sure it's mono. It's mono, right? Yeah. It's really cool. I think it's got 4 knobs, and they all do stuff even, which is always a bonus. And it's built by you. So there you go.
Looking forward to that. I did start a pedal journey of myself. But since I don't know what I want, or I don't know really what they do, I started with about the cheapest pedal I can find, which is a Behringer pedal.
Yeah, don't get any cheaper. Well, no, you can go on the Jungle website and find some stuff cheaper. Maybe.
I don't think so.
John wanted to hear somebody play. Well, I'm not going to plug in because you can't with this platform unless I do bobbly boop. So then we get echoes and weirdness.
I think the Behringer pedals at Sweetwater are $19 a pop right now, so don't get much better than that.
Let's see here. Thank you, Terry. Post a link again to Tinkerbell's.
Thank you, Terry.
Page. I was going to say site, channel, if you will. Check it out. You can get $20 Amazon pedals. They are great. Azor brand. I have a bunch.
Check them out.
Yep.
I want to get it all started because I wanted a chorus pedal. I know it's one of Ben's favorites, and I still don't have one. But somehow I got like 8 or 9 pedals going out.
Nice. Nice.
And I'm learning how to use them. So
I've started paring down. I think I might be down into the 70s again.
True, yeah. I can see how. At first, I was like, "Why do these guys have so many pedals?" And then it took about 3 days. I'm like, "Yeah, I want them all now. I can see why it's like this." The SF300 Super Fuzz. I'll check that out. I found some that I like. I think they sound fantastic. I don't think they're built real well. Like, you might want to watch how you're using the Behringer pedals because they're just made of plastic. You wouldn't want to jump up and down on one of them.
I gigged with a Behringer pedal.
I think you could, just as long as you were kind of like.
But it was a noise gate, and it was always on.
Yeah,
and it was next to the tuner, and then next to another always on, so it never got touched.
Yeah, I could see I have a noise reducer, and I have it in going through the effects loop right now. So
I had to because we never ran guitars through the PA, so I was playing through my half stack with an MXR full bore metal pushing it, and that's 100 watts. So it was loud and it was gainy. It was heavy. Oh, it was heavy.
Boss metal core, great. Yeah, I got one of the Behringer pedals for kind of the Swedish sound, which was the what was this one?
Hey, Ron.
The heavy metal one. Can you see that? There we go. Heavy metal.
Nice.
And it was supposed to be the same circuit as the Metal Zone, like just the same circuit. And it sounds good. I guess you basically just crank the knobs up on full on this, huh? Is that the deal? Because that's where I found the best noise was like everything just pegged out on this thing.
I have no idea.
Right on. But there's another one called Ultra Metal that has a great sound. Like really,
I've
like
heard
the
of that
sound
one.
of it.
Mark Dillon pulled the trigger on a late 80s Kramer Focus 3000. Nice. Congrats.
Nice.
Man. Which is basically an ESP.
Nice. Michael, I'm not going to say your last name. Lapinese. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
There's Scott.
There's Scott. What's up, Scott?
We got a few people tuning in a little late. And there's What's Up, Doc. I forgot to say hey to him earlier. Mike Jones. Lots of Canucks in here and a lot of Pennsylvanians. Sure. That works. Canucks and honorary Canucks. Still looking for advice on what guitar to buy with a Grand Canadian. Ooh. Do you want to go new or used? What's up, Doc? iRoxy Blue says, I'm not a Canuck, but you could be. If you want to be. Hey, Dave. Welcome back, my friend. Hey, Buzz.
Yeah, heavy metal climb.
Symmetry's going to jump back in the pool, back in 5. Dude, I get it. Because we know it's 40 plus there, so. It says fine. New. Okay, so grand new. All right, so that's going to be around $7.25, $750 US to play with. So I'm thinking, hey, Michael B.
Michael.
You got to go down. pretty much you're into that's like a player series. If you want to go Fender, you're limited to Epiphone stuff if you go that route. I think pretty much every Epiphone's under $1,000 Canadian, unless it's some fancy schmancy Epiphone. Get the other guy. Hey, oh, you got a decent Ibanez. They have some decent Ibanez for under $1,000. If you want to go jazzy or pointy, they cover both. I don't know if the Mexican Charvels come in at that price. Hey, Jared Beach. Hello and welcome. You can get, you can get the I think it's the Indonesian Wolfgangs. They're under $1,000. Yamaha, yep. Epiphones have gone, oh my God. So, browsing the used market here. So, you can buy an Epiphone Les Paul new. They're like $750 to $850, depends on the bells and buttons and whistles and such. So, you can get into one new for $750. A used one, they're asking $650, $700. I was like, that's full on retail. That's $50 off. Like, no, it's crazy. 5 years ago, I could buy a used Epiphone Les Paul for $300, and now it's $650. Yet the price of a new one's gone up $100. Ooh, an LTD. Yeah, you can get an LTD for under $1,000.
I love them. No, I'm not playing one right now. I have a couple of those. I think they're great. They're pretty easy to work on.
Sure. Nope, Symmetry's back. It was literally a quick splash.
Nice. Scott must be out. He must have just stopped in real quick.
Jason says, I used to have an Epiphone Prophecy series, Futura, the first year they came out. I remember them. They're pretty cool. PRS SE, yeah, you can get into one of them for under $1,000.
If your budget's $1,000, I think you're pretty wide open. I only have a couple guitars that are over $1,000. And then, man...
Yeah, but that's $1,000 Canadian. So I'm saying that's like $725, $750. You know, and that's the difference, right? $700 to $1,000 is a huge difference in the U.S. market.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like a model up, basically. Like if you were looking at something that was a 600, you're into the 1,000. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Iroxy Blue says, how much would we pay for a Focus 6000 Red? Well, mine you can't buy.
I don't know.
But, as an example, we'll grab her. We'll just grab her on up. These have gone up significantly. I think these are like $600-$700 US now.
That's a cool guitar, though.
And this one's got a lot of upgrades, like Duncan JB, Sean Silas volume pot, FU-tone, big old block, FU-tone springs, FU-tone trem stop.
Beauty.
What else? Oh, D-tuna, right? Gotta have a D-tuna. If mine was for sale, it's not. It's almost in tune even. Wow. I was going to play this yesterday, but then I didn't. Maybe I will tomorrow. I haven't played it in a little while.
Metalhead, that's a Orange 35 RT Crush. Just a little practicing out, but I love it. I don't know how much you can see it. I have it driving right into like a thing that holds blankets, so I can get it up pretty hard and just drive into it.
Ooh, exchange rate is actually pretty good. Okay, so your budget, Tink, you're up to $813 US is $1,000 Canadian. So that does open it up a bit more.
That's a good guitar.
Yeah, you can get any decent guitar, like at least decent, like giggable.
Oh,
You know,
what can't you gig with? What can't you gig with? I gigged with a Squire before. I think you can gig with anything. I don't think that the equipment holds you back that bad.
Well, especially as long as you maintain it.
Maintain it.
Yes. If you don't maintain that Squire, it would fall apart after a while. But like,
yes,
as I was playing earlier, retail for 175 Canadian.
Exactly.
I gigged with this thing for years, and you'll see photos online of me playing it, and there's always tape. See, Dan, there was always tape over the headstock, and it's like people say, were you embarrassed? I was like, no, it's because I put this in your hands. And I say, here, play this, and you'd be like, damn, this thing plays nice, and they'd hear me play, and they'd like it sounded good, and they're like, what is it? I'm like, it's a J Tercer. You're like, fuck right off. I'm like, nope, it's a J Tercer.
Yeah, I think people have this stigma on stuff like, oh, that's shit, so I won't try it, and it's garbage. But
and plus, if it's stolen, who cares? It's $175 guitar. Fill your boots.
When we were talking about that, a lot of people said Schecter, LTD. Absolutely. Yep. I think both are, and I think they're owned by the same one person or something like that too.
That I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is. I think even those models are built in the same factory.
Same factory possibly, but I think Schecter's owned by a dude and LTD is owned by ESP. Which could be owned by a dude, but I think it's a different dude.
Right on. I thought somehow there's a pretty solid connection between them. I'll have to look into it.
Well, ESP LTD Ghost built, right? Like my Kramer, that's an ESP.
Right.
Because that's who made him, same factory.
Yes, Tink's right. 3G.
Oh, they're owned by the same guy. Well, I stand corrected.
I think Tink's maybe over $1,000 now. You know what? Normally they are over $1,000, but if every now and then Guitar Center and Sweetwater have deals, and you just got to wait out for them. They occasionally send me something like 15% off or a 20% off. One time somebody gave me. I bought 2 guitars at that time. You can bring it back down somehow.
Yeah, when they decide to purge the warehouse, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
You don't mind waiting. Yeah, like I say, good things come to those who wait. If you don't mind waiting, say, like if you pick out a guitar, do you mind waiting 3 months before putting in the order for it? 4 months, 6 months? Like if you don't mind waiting up to 6 months, but you're like, one day I will own this guitar when I get it at the right price, then boom. Symmetry says we only have Long McQuaid. They've run out all the mom and pops. Yes. Yes. The Evil Empire. I hear the Star Wars. I hear dun 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 dun, and when I walk through the doors, the doors open. Dun dun dun. They want me there, but I tolerate them. I like one guy. I do like Travis. He's a good cat. The rest of them, they don't know squat.
We had some really cool stores around here, but they seem to be fading. I think there's one last one in our downtown area, but I don't usually go downtown too much.
Well, see, that's the other option for retirement. If you want to play guitar, but during the day, you just set up a guitar shop, right? You don't care if you sell anything, and you just buy and sell shit, and you talk shit all day.
I would love that.
Right? And all it has to do is break even. That's all
I think the best part of that morning would be opening that door and having that aroma of small music store just hitting your face like, yes, I'm home again.
Of course, it doesn't have that stale cigarette smell that we used to enjoy walking into a music store.
Hey, it's your store. Do what you want.
Guy behind the counter just chain smoking, and as soon as you go, don't touch that. All right. You're like, no customer service, retail customer service. All right, don't touch that. Whereas nowadays, I get a kick out. You go, and it probably happened to you too. Like, I go into a music store, the customers come up to me before the employees because they see them all walk around shirts and ties, and it's like, they don't. Like, for me. Like, do you work here? I'm like, no. You should. I know. What do you want to know?
I'm the guy that comes up and starts the conversation, and then they think I work there. I'm like, yeah, dude, what are you up to? That's all. Check this one out and stuff. And they're like, I'll take it. I'm like, well, go find a salesman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if really Guitar Center should be hiring the YouTube guitar community. Because you're like, no, you don't need that. You need this. And I could do surly low management. No, you got to talk to that guy. If you want something off the top shelf, you got to talk to. No, you're not. Come back in a few more months. And if I hear you playing Crazy Train another fucking time in my store, you're banned.
Okay, I got one for you. Well, it's like never have I ever. I thought I had a good one here for like that. I don't know how much I could drink for this, but I have never played a Gibson guitar.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. My first electric was a Gibson guitar.
Yeah, and there's people around me that swear by them, and I looked at the price tag, and I was like, I think I'm going to.
Oh, they're not cheap.
No, they're not. Cool. Nope. They're cool. I have no problem with them.
They hold their value. They hold their value.
Yeah. I've never played a Telecaster. I'm going to let that sink in.
And we'll just end the broadcast.
Once I had a Strat, it just seemed like the right shape. I just didn't look much else. Other friends had them, and they played them, and they loved them.
For the love of God, stop in a Guitar Center and play a Tele.
I will.
Just for me.
I will. I'll do that.
Just see what it's like. Just see what it's like. I'm not saying you should buy. I'm not saying you should buy a classic vibe Tele, which is a great bang for the buck guitar. Because they're like $300-400. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just play one. Just play one.
I should. I will. I'll probably find one. Even that Eric Johnson, that's a Strat still. Like even the next guitar, it just never. I know there's someone's like, what? Yeah. I know that. There's Jarrett. I know him, and he is a Gibson aficionado.
Well, welcome, Jarrett. Good.
Yeah,
please subscribe if you haven't already. John says, "Why am I here?" Don't worry, John. I played just about everything. I think
that's the worst of it. So we went over.
I will admit I haven't played a lot of the stuff like that Tink collects. Like I don't play a lot of LTDs, but if they're in the shop, I'll check them out. Especially like their single cuts and which is their ECs. And Absolute Mayhem, he's got a couple LTDs, and I've played and set up both of his.
Yeah. What else can I say? I think there's one.
Stephen Douglas says, okay, let's set up a GoFundMe. Well, in that case, I've never played a Tom Anderson.
Yeah. I've never played a real ESP guitar. Set that GoFundMe page. I'll take a Jeff Hanneman edition.
Have I? I have. Because back in the day, ESPs were stocked in stores, Like you didn't see LTDs.
Right.
Originally. You just have to be old. That's all. I think we need a Telecaster intervention here.
I knew that would get something riled up. I was like thinking about stuff that just to make sure I had something to talk.
My next guitar will be a Tele or an Esquire. I've been digging. Yeah, they got that Esquire reissue, and I want to check out the Noventa. It's just 1P90. Yes, I dig that. That's
admittedly,
just a rock machine.
One of the ones that kind of got on my radar that's super different would have been like something like a Gretsch with a Bigsby on it. I kind of have an itching for that, and then to learn some rockabilly. I love the Stray Cats.
Never leave you astray from that. Well, Stray Cats, yeah, forget about it, right?
Yeah, I love them.
You get into a lot of jazzy type stuff in there to make that rockabilly really sparkle. You got to do some jazzy stuff in there, and I don't know what. Yep. Let's see. Ken Singleton says, "Damn old. I did not play a Tele until I did." Perfect. I know I touched a Tele long before I ever played one, because I remember like touching Dad's guitar long before I would ever actually have the balls to take it out of its case or anything. But you would open the case and just, move the switch, the knobs. Jason. Is it blasphemy to play stoner metal on a telly? No.
No, it isn't.
No.
Not at all.
Well, especially since so many tellies come with humbuckers in the neck. And I have a double humbucker telly, and I love playing it for the rockier stuff. Symmetry just got the 30-minute notification for Pete. Yeah, we'll go a couple more minutes. Any last-minute questions? Get them in on it. Get them in. Tight.
Rock the thumbs up.
Rock the thumbs up. If
Send
you're new,
millions of dollars.
Subscribe to both of our channels.
Please, yeah. I'll try to get some more content up.
Yes. We got 59 people watching still. Nice.
What was another fact I could come up with? I think I only have 2 or 3 guitars that have passive pickups in them. Everything else is an active style pickup.
Well, that comes with the pointiness. You need the more oomph. Have you ever thought about getting a Wolfgang?
Yes. For the Drop D Tuna. For Alice in Chains stuff. I thought that would be a great way to do it. And Eddie, a little kind of think about him. I think about Ed a lot.
I think we all do. It's like I like to say I like to warm up with Van Halen licks. And not to say that to be braggy or anything. Not because I can't play them well, but because his licks, you're moving around and doing stuff, it's a great way to warm up.
It is, because every little lick from Eddie had some detail to it that he would do. This one's soft, ping this one, slide here. Don't pull it, do a pull off. He was insane.
Terry says we're 90 minutes live, 61 watching, and 54 thumbs ups.
Yeah, nice.
Doug just told me EVH Wolfgang Custom. Nice. Symmetry says, great stream today. Tink has good energy. Well, I'll say right now. You. Well, you're going to have to come back at some point, I think.
I hope to, man. That's the biggest compliment you could have given me all night. I would love to.
I think so, definitely. I think Lord help our bandmates if we were ever in a band together. Shut up. Go and go and go.
Yeah,
and who puts these two in a band together? It was like, but we would do it. We'd play this stuff. We'd figure it out. Let's see, Stephen Douglas. Okay, I think Stephen, you tuned in a little later. Your influences. He says he has the feeling you were into 80s rockers like himself.
You nailed it. That was me. That's where I grew up, 80s, 90s, when I was grabbing stuff. So
sure. John, thank you.
Trying to think. Scott Ian. I remember being trying to get metal, and I'm being really latched on to Scott Ian for a while from Anthrax. I really liked his style. I thought he was fun. He's jumping around the stage and having fun. And
he seems like a cool hang too.
He did. And
he always seemed like a cool hang.
Even at the time when the big four were competing against each other, if music's not a competition, when they were playing with each other, Anthrax didn't take themselves super seriously. And I loved that. I thought that was one of the coolest things about them.
They had Scott has comic book guitars. I was like, oh, these guys wear skater shorts. They didn't care.
Yeah. And I related to that very easily.
John, hit me up at the email down below, or we're friends on Facebook. Hit me up. We'll set up a show. For sure. Yeah. I think that'll be a fun show. Yeah.
He has me beat. I can't actually play. So.
Hey, if you've seen my demos, neither can I. If you read half the comments.
Has to be like the cartoons. I put the needle on the record and then I pretend like I'm playing.
Robot says I just subbed to Tink. I'm follower 69.
What?
Just kidding. 26.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I broke 20. And you know what's so cool is I made it just for friends. Like I didn't want success. This is just for us hanging out. It was just a way for me to do it, and I had some time to do it, and I really enjoy it. So I'm hoping to do more of it. It is a blast.
Well, I love the feedback. Right. Do it when you can, where you can, whatever, but have fun doing it. It's clear in your videos. You enjoy what you do. And
try to, yeah.
And John says, "No offense, Tank. It's all good."
No offense to what? That he could. No, it's untaken. I'm pretty confident in myself and what I do. You can't hurt me.
So Robot Master Switch is like, I wanted to make videos too, but apparently I look super high a lot. I'm like,
that's perfect, dude.
So like, you look like Jim Brewer in life, because Jim Brewer looks high as fuck all the time.
Yes,
and he's still, you're right. So, or do you happen to burn one and make videos? Because if you watch last Friday's video, that was clearly what happened in that video. Because I picked up that guitar for repair, got home, burned one. And I'm like, I might as well work on it now. And that's why the audio is all high and low, and it was kind of a shit show. But I figured why not put it up.
Oh, thanks, Mojo. I appreciate that.
That's awesome. So, any parting words, my friend?
Stay low, run in a zigzag pattern, and work on your alibi.
I like it. Yep. Oh,
Quentin's back.
Yes, Quentin's alive.
Good.
Awesome. Well, yeah, this has definitely been a fun hang for sure. We'll definitely do it again.
I hope so. I had a blast here, and I love hanging with you guys.
Yeah, literally,
guys and gals.
I watched, it literally took one video on your channel, and then I emailed you. Or no, then I saw you in a chat. That's what it was. I'm like, dude, get in touch with me. And you're like, what's up? And I'm like, you need to come on. And you're like, what? I'm like, you need to come on. And you're like, I've never done anything like this before. I'm like, I don't care. We'll figure it out.
You have to understand how limited my technology is. Like, I don't know if you can see it in the back, but if I try to record anything, I have a 4-track recorder right there where my finger's at. That is all I know how to use. I looked at that computer stuff in about 5 minutes. I don't know what's going on. So
I got a Focusrite last year sometime. It's there in a box next to the computer.
That's me. If it has more than 3 or 4 knobs, I start getting confused.
Definitely check out the replay, Ian. We had a great time. Yes, folks, you have your choice, dealer's choice. You can go over to Metalhead Hippie or Pete Thorne or both. 2 screens at once, multitask. Sure, it's going to sound like you're in a crowded bar. Perfect.
Do it 3. Watch the replay of this and those 2
and the replay of this. Right, there we go.
And buy one of Ben's T-shirts, too, while you're out there.
There we go. Buy a shirt. Sure. Links to cool stuff down below. We'll talk about that tomorrow night. They sponsor tomorrow night's show. Perfect.
I'll be there.
So I'll be back tomorrow with Terry and Tom and me. Yeah, I should show up because I hit the go button and the stop button. And, yeah. Tank, hang on the line here while we roll out and do our thing. As always, folks, hold those doors open. Let that guy in ahead. No, well, let that lady in ahead in traffic. Doug's wife's real. We know that.
Here's for Amanda. I didn't see her, so I made hers like a Metallica one.
Oh, nice. nice. Well, speaking of Amanda, she's next Sunday's guest.
Cool.
It's her birthday.
Those are great shows.
One. Yeah,
those are awesome shows.
Need a bomb to watch all 3. Well, that's fine, Mojo. Whatever gets you through the night.
Agreed.
I'm not old and vintage jazz. We're shutting down. Because Pete and Hippie are going live in about 15 minutes. So
yes.
Everyone have a great night. Cheers. Rock on. Be good to each other. And we'll see you all tomorrow night. Where is that? There it is. Yep. That's it.
Thanks.